Between the Empires is a total conversion mod for Mountain Blade Warband, and it sets you into the Victorian world of 1860, and you could play up until 1892. There is also a separate command menu and brand new system which lets you command your units like it's a Total War game. Or if you're more into that stuff, you can command them the regular way. The mod is not made to command units the regular way. You can still issue orders like fire and charge the regular way, but it's preferable if you move your troops through the new system, which you access with the U key. Before the battle, you could fix your deployment plan, which you click onto here, and here it will show you all of the units that you have in your party. Now, to assign them to separate companies, here I have the very experienced French infantrymen, 14 of them, so I will just assign them to the 1st Line Infantry Company. Mark Twain, who is my companion, I will just assign him to the Line Company because why not? I don't really care where he goes. Now I have some French guards here, only one, and he is tagged in the lights because that's where my lights usually are. But now I'll switch him over to the Guard Infantry because he's a guard and he's a bit more elite. Want to have him at the back, so on and so on. You can also click Alt 0, Alt Max, depending how you like it. Obviously, you don't want to go into battle with 0 man, but you know what I'm saying. Battles here are also on a really massive scale. And that's why this entire system has been implemented. As you can see how much of the unit is left, how much stamina they have, how much combat efficiency they have, which I think is the bottom one. You can move your WASD as you normally would in basically any game. And if I want to combine these two companies, Company 1 and Company 2, I just click on Company 1, Shift, click on Company 2, or you can Shift and then press 1 and 2 on your keyboard. And this thing over here, the merge companies, and now there's 37 of them, and they're one single company. The Guard Company, I can combine these two Guard companies to have them just together because they'll be reserves. I don't want to use them as a primary force. Yeah, I can also tell let's say the guards. I can form the guards into a square formation if I see cavalry coming, or I just want them to be a bit more tightly packed. If I'm, let's say, sieging down something, I want them to be a bit more tightly packed. Maybe I want to form them into a square formation, which does look good. I don't know if that was the Victorian square that they used, but this is how they will form into a square. You can obviously tell them to fire at will. Use only their bayonets, you can tell them to fire at command and stuff like that. You also have flag bearers, which are a bit more realistic than the Napoleonic Wars ones. You can also tell your units to either run, which I have switched them to running, or to walk, which is, marching usually. And how you do that is the key under your escape, which I call wave, but depends where you're from, you call it differently. You can go full Total War try hard if you want to. You can select your light company. You can put them here. You can select another light company. Okay, never mind. I forgot merge them. You can select the guards. You can have them here at the back, fire at my command so they don't waste their bullets. You can have the lights. As you can see, they're already going to their assigned position. These infantrymen here, I'll tell them to charge just so they could secure some bullets. And now the main line infantry line, I could just tell them to fire. They'll fire their volley. They only killed one, but that doesn't matter. Half is skill, half of it is luck. Another thing is there is dynamic weather in this mod. The battle could start sunny, as you can see it was sunny before, and randomly at some point it could start raining. It could start pouring down rain just like it is right now. And also thanks to the whole walking system, we can tell you guys to march with retreat if that's really your thing. If you want to march towards the enemy, you can do that. Now they're in position, they're gonna line up, they're gonna shoot. It's just simple as that. Actually, at some point they could break, and as you can see in the kill chat, it says Company 1 was forced to retreat. Now, this doesn't mean they're completely broken. This means they'll just retreat until their morale is back up, which this is their morale. And when it goes below a certain point, they will just break. There are special characteristics or attributes, I should say, that you can assign to your character, and you can just up that. Like, you can decrease, you can make it so the limit, let's say the limit is 20%. Below that, they will just run away. You can set that to 15 thanks to some attributes that have been added to the mod. Captain, which will increase the discipline level. The desperate stand, which will, when company's discipline level drops below retreat limit, it will wait for some time. So basically, they are still thinking if they're going to retreat or not. They want to, but they're still thinking about it. There's a last chance. for you to save them before they start, running away. And the Inspirer, which is what I was talking about earlier, is the decreases the retreat limit. Another really cool thing is you can just change the flag of your nation. You can also rename the faction. It's, as you can see, it's the French Empire, but I can just name it the Frog. I can name it Frog. There is also an infamy level, which I'm not sure. I think it's just in native and regular warband anyway, which is basically if you have it high, everyone will declare war on you. As you can see, basically war with anyone because this is a save that I just fuck around with. But you can also not only change the name of your faction, you can change the flag of your faction, and you know, yeah, there are some flags that are not currently being used. There's some made up ones. But when I think about it, this could be like some of the, pride flags or something like that. So I'll just play it safe and just say they're made up. Now, we have British flags as our ensigns. That does not change the uniforms whatsoever, though. They're still, French, etc. Now, not all countries have their own troop trees, sadly, but it is what it is. It's still in development. It came out 2 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, around mid-June. So they've done all of the major powers and not so major like the two Sicilies. At least to me, they're not that major. I don't know if they actually were during this time, but as you can see, they have their own custom focus tree. But stuff like Afghanistan don't even have troops to recruit. They have to rely on troops from neighboring nations. As well as one that really surprised me, Portugal doesn't have a focus tree, so they're forced to use Spanish units. You can also research some new stuff for your nation or your faction or your empire kingdom, doesn't matter. And we have researched caplock muskets, which I'm not sure. I don't think every nation has them researched because obviously not every nation is as advanced as the major powers. It's basically like a HOI4 system, and you can have the Crimean War medical experience, which I think only the Russians, the British, and the French can get it since it was between them, obviously. You can have conscription, etc. You can just have stuff. And the farthest one you can get is 1892. Now, of course, I've been going past the big red elephant in the room, but Europe, a decent portion of Africa, a decent portion of the Middle East, and India is in the game. I mean, mod, whatever you want to call it, it's basically a game on its own at this point. As you can see, the entirety of England is here, Scotland, Ireland, you name it. The entirety of France is here. I've kind of taken out some of the Swiss towns just for, the gameplay stuff. Italy, as you can see here, Spain and Portugal. You can see Africa here. I'm not sure. I think this is ours. Yes, it's ours. You can see over here. Oh fuck. Yeah, you can see the Balkans are here. Obviously, some nations like Serbia are independent because at this point they did just free themselves. So they're small. They don't have a focus tree yet, but I think that in time they will actually complete them. Then a big portion of Russia. I'm not sure that's the entirety of them because it goes all the way up to like not Alaska, but at this point it should go to Alaska. Sadly, they don't have the American continent, which will be really cool to try to take part in the Civil War if it happens. But as I said, they have here the Middle East over here. They have the Arabian subcontinent. I don't know what you want to call it, and India. And also, as you can see, since we changed the flag of Frog, it is now the British flag up there. Stuff like the taverns and the cities have been completely overhauled just to fit the theme of the year, the setting. One really big thing that I don't like is that if most of the big cities are just castles, like let's say Brussels, yeah, this is a regular city like Paris is. Every capital of every nation is a city, but let's say Bruges here, it is just a castle, which I don't like. I think that it should be just a city, a regular city, like just like Brussels, but not a castle, because that way I cannot go to recruit people. I can't go purchase food and stuff like that. As anyway, that should cover the Between Empires mod. I actually am thinking of starting a Danish army playthrough, which is the guys you're seeing on screen right now. This is the Danish army during that time period, and I really like their uniforms and shit. So that's basically the only reason that I'm gonna be maybe starting one. I mean, I'm gonna be starting one, but I don't know if I'm gonna be recording it. So yeah, I mean, hope you enjoyed the video. It's again a different branch than my usual shithousery, but don't worry, a shithousery on that type of on that mod will come this week, hopefully. If not, it will come on Monday next week. So yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.